Welcome back to our assembly party here in Helsinki, Finland. It is time for our second semi-final in the ASUS ROG Summer Championship Series. It is a rematch from earlier today from the Finnish Championship game where the underdog was able to overcome their mountain and take the trophy. Will that happen again? We will surely find out when these teams take on each other. Please give it up for Team Gigantti and ENCE eSports. Right, Trick White, how are you feeling?
Oh, I'm feeling fantastic. Hoping to repeat the victory we had in the Finnish Championship.
Fraggy, you guys are full of fight now. Fire and pull that tappura in Finnish.
Yeah, pretty much. We want to take revenge from earlier today.
How did you use your break? It was quite a long time.
We warmed up, look at the watch from the earlier match and figured out where to beat them.
Right, Trick White, how did you spend your time? Did you go out and party?
No, we just sit down and went through the WOD and fixed our little mistakes, which we did in the match we lost. So, no mistakes now. Full speed ahead.
All right, he said full speed ahead, so you two shake your hands already, so I'm pretty sure...
We're going to do it again.
Yeah, they're going to do it again anyway. Good luck, have fun, both of you. And in that note, it is time to head to our casters. Jason, please take it away. Tomppa, lava on sinun.
Well, let's have a good game here, Hex. Let's make sure we
have fun.
We have fun here. Yeah. Oh, see, we talked about the GLHF yesterday.
Yeah, no, you. No, you have fun.
You have fun.
You have fun.
No, you have good luck.
Good luck for you.
How dare you? Yeah, so we're going to get underway here with our second semifinal where Gamer Origin is waiting for their opponent in the grand finals. We get underway with that one at midnight. So we actually have 1.5 hours before that happens.
Right. Enough time for a best of 3 at least.
Yeah, and maybe you can go grab yourself a burger. If you're here in Finland, you can have a Hess burger, which are
Yeah, you keep
delicious.
talking about these Hess burgers.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second. But let's just, again, in a second, take a look at how, I guess, these two teams got here and maybe actually how they're progressing into the end of this one. As you saw, Gamers Origin did win 2-1 over Helsinki Reds. And then, yeah, ENCE up against Gigantti. This is, like they said, a rematch from the Finnish Championship earlier on today, where ENCE did win 3-2.
Yeah, it was a close one, and we weren't awake to watch that one, which I think is understandable.
I mean, when you're cuddling with me, it's really hard to ever be awake because it's just too comfortable.
It's so strong. It's so strong. You can't get away.
It's a light chest hair. It's not like too much. It's just the right amount.
But I was a little surprised, but not ultra surprised. And it's mostly just
how
based
cuddly I am?
No, based the actual game, Jason. Come on, let's put us together.
I thought this was all about me.
But I thought ENCE could upset Gigantti, and that's partially because I think ENCE is playing well, and it's partially because Gigantti. You know, you just never really know if they're going to show up and if they're not going to show up. And
partially because Gigantti likes to choke in finals a little bit.
Kind
because
of, yeah.
We did see them play in the winter finals. Actually, you casted the first day with me, then ZP casted the second day, and they won 3-2 over Helsinki Reds, just barely. But you can see here the lineup for Gigantti, as you do know them. New additions to the team with Davin, Big Goose at the end. Links are looking as handsome as ever. Frag, I'm still waiting for him to shave his beard, because him and Zappis had a deal where they would not shave until they won a tournament.
Right.
And then Zappis realized maybe we're never going to win a tournament.
Maybe it's holding it back. Maybe that's what's holding them back. Maybe they need to. It's the anti-playoff beard. You know, in hockey, you grow your beard all through the playoffs and you don't shave it. Yeah.
Okay. I heard of like
Finland. Anyway.
Well, I heard like traditions like you don't change your socks, like you wear the same socks on game day.
In hockey, you grow a beard all through the playoffs, but maybe they should shave them and be the reverse playoff beard.
Fraggy looks like he just like got pulled over and he's like doing a lineup or something to get his mugshot taken.
Someone is questioning Fraggy as we speak right there. So I guess at a personal level, I kind of root for Gigantti mostly because Linkser shared his licorice with us, which is very nice.
He did.
Yeah.
And that's not an innuendo. He actually there's a licorice shop like right next to us, which is closed, which unfortunately I'm going to miss out on. Maybe you'll buy some tomorrow for me and send it to me. And then ENCE eSports, you can see Trick Vibe there, the captain of the team, the most outspoken one. Reaper, RCK, the man we've actually seen play a really good Doomfist yesterday.
Yeah, RCK's Doomfist was one of the highlights of the tournament. I still do look at Reaper and Baito as something that could give this Gigantti team trouble because it's the only team that's really run a good pharmacy, and they run it on a couple of different maps. And, well, of course, we'll see what maps we're going to go into later on here. But those are the fellas who upset this team earlier today.
I love Callie's hair. I love his hair. It's the hair with, like, the mustache that just... If I was a woman, I would... Yeah, I would date him.
Yeah, I mean, the mustache is like a smaller version of his actual haircut, which is the cool part of it.
It does have the little, like, outside. Yeah, it does come out like the mustache comes out. That's like Inception almost level kind of stuff. Yeah, so we're getting away with this one shortly. We don't or do we have the maps? Do we not have the maps? I don't think we have the map for this one, unfortunately.
No, we'll fly blind here.
Yeah, let's just guess what maps we're going to have, because looking at what they played...
You actually made me guess these maps yesterday when you got the pick ban list, and I was pretty decent on them. I was getting like 1 out of it, and given that the entire map pool is available
I can guess the first map if you want.
Okay, well, I just cheated. I saw your screen. We are going to Lijiang Tower, apparently. I want to see, and I hope Gigantti picked it, I want to see Ilios. Because if you missed yesterday, Linkser played an amazing Widow on Ilios. They also have the double threat on Ilios. Ilios Ruins, I think I would play constantly, like in custom games if I could. I think it's a great stage. They ran a Sombra on it as well, so you denied that big pack. And it's not, for me, and you mentioned it yesterday too, it's not even about getting the pack for your team, it's taking that pack away from the other team. I did that big pack there, and then Linkser on the Widow was amazing to watch. I think Hollywood might come up here. There's only been like 6 maps on this entire tournament, and all the maps are available.
Gigantti wants to play Nambani. They actually played it twice yesterday when they won both those.
Yeah, that's true.
Ilios, like I said, is a possibility. Even Lijiang Tower, which we are seeing, like these so far, the maps we're talking about are the maps that they performed well on.
Right.
And look at ENCE. They played Nambani one, the one in Nepal, the one in Hollywood, the one on Route 66, Lijiang Tower. So both teams having a win under their belt before getting into this first map, and more importantly, ENCE having the victory just from earlier on today. But when we arrived here at the venue, Hex, we walked around the warm-up area, and we did see Gigantti sitting together, watching the VODs from their matches earlier on, discussing what's been going on, what went wrong, what went right. And they did play Oasis in that one. I did see one of the maps they were looking at. So
they did. So we do have double Doomfist on the field. It is going to be Linkser on the side of Gigantti, and it's going to be RCK on the Doomfist for ENCE eSports. He played a good one yesterday. Linkser, of course, more than capable of playing every single DPS. Both teams face off, and that is Linkser with the first Doom punch on the Cal. He goes down.
Nice little charge, rocket charge does come through. Rocket punch. I'm going to get the words right correctly eventually. New hero. Hard to learn the new abilities quickly enough. So that's going to be Gigantti taking the point. Initially here, they are running the Reinhardt. So is Cloudy, and Cloudy really well known for his Reinhardt. Then again, so is Fraggy. Very prolific for that champion, for that hero. And Reaper going to be on the Zenyatta. RCK trying to Doomfist v Doomfist here against Linkser, who had, for RCK, had a much better showing than what we saw to Linkser.
Early kills come in very quickly from both supports actually coming in the action. Cleanup crew is there for Gigantti, as that is 5 quick kills. Callie has to back out, wait for his team. All of his friends are dead. A very quick and decisive fight for Gigantti. And now we're entering the ultimate phase of the game, as both Fraggy and Zupe will come online with their ultimates, Earthshatter and Transcend. Look, Fraggy's at home on Reinhardt. We know that. To their detriment sometimes, but if a team's going to let you play it, Fraggy can play it with the best of them.
It's funny because looking at his picture, I thought he was hopeless. Anyways, the charging gun through, like I said, that Earthshatter lane as well. The Soundbreak just barely catching on Cloudy, which is going to actually give him the advantage in this 1v1 up against Fraggy. But Davin taking on Reaper does give him the man advantage. Fraggy will eventually fall here, but it looks like the rest of Gigantti are focusing the right targets, and Cloudy will eventually go down to the hands of Zupa. So far, not bad at Gigantti. They have so many win conditions, too, because you have the grab Pulse Bomb, you have the grab Meteor Strike, you have the grab into just the swing with the Reinhardt. Like, a lot of it is based around the Graviton Surge, where Zappos is now able to have it up and available, but they're not pushing with it. That's the kind of surprising part. They're not getting in their faces to lock them down in that choke point, but they're all grouped up here. This could be huge. Just pop that grab down. There's no diva to stop you.
No, not at all. They're still not able to get any pressure on the point. Linkser has run wild a little bit on this Doomfist. We said he is a more than capable DPS and all sorts of things. Sound Barrier versus Transcend. Earthshatter comes down, does not get a whole lot there. Fraggy is the one who falls. Linkser soon to follow as Callie puts his team on his back. The grab will be available for this team should they so need it. The early kill should be enough for them, and you'd like to be able to hold ultimates. RCK looks for a little bit more. It's going to think better of it and get out of there. First point captured finally for ENCE eSports. And they have some grabs to keep the momentum going here.
It's a little bit sad to see Gigantti actually not grab, wait for the Transcendence to be over, then Earthshatter like directly behind them. And then that way you can pretty much get your combo in that you really do need. But, I mean, either way, they have to deal with what's been dealt, and that's going to be a Meteor Strike. You're going to see your combo here finally. And it's only an 8-1 because everyone else is already dead. Crickfly and Cloudy already able to take them down.
The problem is everyone's ruining it for me by killing people in the grab. Just wait. Let it be the Doomfist show. You know, I just want to see Doomfist get all the kills there. He's always there on the cleanup, but it might be overkill. The good thing about that combo is it's unplay-aroundable. Is a word I'm going to use. You can really only play around it with sound.
TM, hexagram.
Yeah, unplay-aroundable.
Unplay-aroundable.
Well, here comes the counter grab. Grabs 2 in it. That is 3 eventually, and they're just going to jump through. Pulse Bomb will come in. Gigantti does get the cleanup there. That is 4 quick kills for them. Should be enough. Some stall out will come on the point. They will flip it back over, and now ENCE eSports in a desperate situation. Can they even get any bodies back on this point?
You know, honestly, I'm a little bit disappointed that with all these combos, we're not seeing the Wombo combo come through. They died before the post one went off. They died before the meteor strike. But now here we are. Into overtime. Gigantti still maintaining control, and Links are going off. He actually gets individual kill, meteor strike kill on the Kali. Takes him out of this equation. That's already not going to be able to get these shields up anymore, and Baido's just trying to run back to the point, but this Transcendence is going to eliminate any damage he's doing. He's just trying to continue to stall as long as possible, but you can see the kill feed. You can know that Gigantti's going to take this first map on the Lijiang Tower.
The counter shatter there comes in for good measure. Fraggy. Charging another Reinhardt always feels good. You feel like you run the Rhine games right there, and a pretty one-sided affair from Gigantti after one fight won by ENCE eSports, but seemed mostly like Gigantti's game there.
I'd say so. And, you know, Links are able to actually do some work with his Doomfist this time. The team really kind of supporting him a little bit more, I guess we can say.
We talked about it earlier, and he said he's got some ideas on how to make Doomfist works, and actually some of his ideas came from watching how ENCE plays their Doomfist, how well RCK played it, and he's kind of communicated that with his team. Is Doomfist, you have to play around him. He needs to be the center of a composition. I think Linkser needs to be the center of a team.
Well, that's like a different topic, but on the same subject.
Yeah. So you saw him there. He got all the support he needed and was able to make the Doomfist work for him. Linkser, an extremely gifted player. Well, you know, Finland's gifted esports, as some would call him. As we do rotate here into the garden.
I don't know where that came from.
What, the gift to esports?
Yeah.
Yeah, now everyone's co-opted. I do think Linkser was the first, though. It was either Linkser or Too Easy who got called it first.
I don't want to believe you on Too Easy.
Yeah.
I've known him for a long time, but I don't want to believe you on that one. It looks like, though, Gigantti off to a strong start. They do pick up quite a few kills. You are seeing the Far Mercy, like you pointed out before, a possibility out of ENCE, and it's going to be used here out of Baito. I was going to say Baito and Ripa, but now they've actually switched away, realizing that the Far Mercy is maybe not going to work out against the Linkser's Soldier.
Yeah, no Link's shoulder, and also with the D.Va there. Yeah, I mean, D.Va's so good against He, even though the Pharmacy combo. The fire rate's so low that you don't even have to keep your defense matrix up the entire time. You can see rockets one by one as they come in. They will make progress over the bridge. A D-Mac and D-Suited as the Bunny Blaster now comes after Zappis. He's going to get jumped on, but his team's actually falling back to defend him. They haven't even taken out Baby D.Va. They're going for it. Transcend counter comes in, trying to support their own dive. Looking for damage, and they have to retreat back over the bridge. However, during that retreat, they grab a couple, Jason.
Attack visor going to be coming through because Kali did get desuited, and they're going to go for the chaser. Links are looking for these kills, not able to get really anything just yet. And he's able to keep them back, but he gets punished for being too far pushed up. His team wasn't protecting him. They weren't supportive. I don't know where the hell Gigantti is. You had the kill. Why not protect this man? You have the visor running. You have the ability to be aggressive, and now they might lose the points. The pulse is going to come through. It looks like it will ideally be Cloudy surviving for now, but RCK with the blade running gets one kill. He gets the D-suit, and he's looking for a second.
They cashed in their ultimates and were able to take this point back.
Why did they back off? They had the kill advantage. They had Kali desuited.
It was an interesting choice, but a choice they made nonetheless, and the economy definitely in favor of Gigantti right now. The only real ult that's going to come online for Gigantti is going to be Sound Barrier here momentarily. It's very possible they want to get in there. And Primal Rage as well can work depending on where the team goes up. It's going to at least gain them entry. They will get over the bridge onto the point here, and that's the first kill. Takes down Cloudy. That is Ripa now down as well in the house alone and discorded. Not where you want to be. David punishes Baito, and this kill streak all in favor of Gigantti. Now there's just a rollerblade Lucio up top trying to stall it out.
We were talking about rollerblades earlier on, but really just maybe we should get a matching pair of rollerblades and just go around
I mean, if we both embrace it, they can't make fun of us too bad at the same time.
That's what my mom told me when I was in, elementary school, but that didn't help.
So just to catch people up in the conversation, we have a moment. Me and Jason would love to rollerblade everywhere if it weren't so unsocially acceptable.
I mean, as long as we don't hold hands.
Well, yeah.
Maybe if we do hold hands, it'll be, I don't know.
Oh, definitely.
We'll make it okay.
Yeah.
In the meantime, though, ENCE looking for the retake here as they did lose the point. You have Baito, who has the visor ready to go. There is a D.Va on Zappis, and Zappis might be looking for self-destruct, which might give Baito the opportunity to use this one. You can already see, though, Cloudy backing away, realizing this might be a lost fight here as the rest of Gigantti are going to be cleaning them up. And ENCE, they don't have much time left remaining. They're at 80%. They have to somehow take this point back in the limited amount of time they have.
Well, they should be able to at least gain entry because you pop Primal here just to clean out the bridge. Actually, the visor is popped first. I don't see exactly where it is. That is a terribly strange. Yeah, that's a fat finger if I've ever seen one. That is about as far off as a visor as you want to get. They're going to take this time to try to rotate
that
around.
was nice.
Yeah, nice little rocket jump gets them on the point, and they kind of sneak themselves into position.
Well, they actually know they speed boost across the gap, too, so the entire team's able to join in without having to go Whitehalls. Linkster gets the kill on RCK. There's going to be no blade coming this man anymore as he finishes him off. Zoopy in towards the back line, getting some protection, but gets knocked off. Cloudy picks himself up a double kill, I believe. Gets Linkster eventually in the end of that one, too, and I think ENCE have been able to do it.
They did it in the order that I did not expect. I expected them to open with the Primal Rage and then get some space and then let Baito go in. But regardless, they did cash in their ults yet again to take this point back over 99% of the time of Gigantti. ENCE eSports will slowly tick up. And now they have to figure out how they want to enter. And I do think they have their Primal Rage as well. They could enter just with Primal Rage. Once again, jump over the top, create that bridge chaos. They're just going to walk right in. No resistance. Pop the Primal Rage to get back on the cliff. Yeah, he got knocked off. Had to pop Primal Rage to get back on. Meanwhile, Davin looking for targets. He's got Pulse Bomb at the ready. Chucks it out. Gets a DMAC. And now, with that shield down, it should open things up. Reapa's able to take down Linkser. But this is mostly in favor of Gigantti right now, looking for the cleanup on the point. Again, they're at 99%, so RCK doesn't really need to go for kills. He needs to go for sustained and alive. But just as I say that, eats a sound ball to the face. That's how you get tinnitus.
Sound ball to the face.
What are those projectiles called?
Sound waves?
Yeah, I guess it is a wave. Sound doesn't travel in balls. Thank you very much. Linkster's able to come in here and get a couple of kills. Zappis gets his resuit, so this is all just desperation time. You got to start seeing some red on the left side of the kill feed if ENCE has any chance of bringing this stage back. The stall is all well and good, and that stall is going to continue as Primal Rage is popped.
Yeah, just trying to stall for time, trying to somehow allow ENCE to get back into the point. The Transcendence is going to be popped. I think he actually could have held on to that a little bit longer because they weren't taking too much damage, which allows now Linkster with the blade to go slicing and dicing his way through the entirety of ENCE eSports, looking to close out this map to have a 2-0 lead on Lijiang Tower. Switches things up to his shurikens, and I think that's going to be do it. Just like a D.Va left on point. They don't really have any ultimates ENCE to really take this point back. Zappis has a self-destruct he can throw in towards their spawn as well if he wants.
Yeah, or just save it to clear off the point yet again, too. And they will eventually, after a long stall from ENCE eSports, who brought it all the way up to 99%. Gigantti will eventually clean off that point as none of the kills came during that stall from ENCE eSports, which, like I said, stall is all well and good, but at some point you got to get a kill here and there to start bringing it back. Try to flip the script on them, as it were.
It's really hard to do that in overtime. Like, you have to... The thing is, like, the way teams attack right before overtime is you commit, like, all your ultimates because you want to take the point back.
Yes.
Before overtime actually kicks in, right? But the problem is that if you somehow are able to stall and you're able to, like, use a Primal Rage to get respawns back in, you don't have ultimates to fight anymore with. So it's kind of like a weird game where if you don't have ultimates go into that fight, you can still take it back eventually if you're able to stall because you're going to have ultimates coming online in, like, the refight. It's just really hard. I don't know. Teams haven't been able to consistently turn the tides of a fight like that, especially when you're just struggling in 1-by-1. But that's kind of how it's going to go, right?
It's more dangerous and I think better when you're running a pharmacy because the resurrection charges so quickly, and then it's such a game-changing ultimate. I actually wouldn't mind them running a pharmacy here. I think it's a great stage for a pharmacy, but they're going to opt to run a Doomfist of their own instead. RCK will be on that one. Couple tanks here today. It's been a lot of Zarya and Reinhardt today, and that's what we're going to see ENCE run. But on the other side of things, it is a pure dive comp from Gigantti.
It's so scary what RCK is holding too, because you want to go through those doorways, but you know that rocket punch is coming, and it's almost guaranteed to kill you. At least the follow-up will be there. Now you can see Davin actually eating that one to the face, and he will eventually die. As now looks like ENCE is going to get their initial control of the point here. So strong start. They get on top of the point, realizing they have double tank, they have Doomfist, they have the pressure. Most importantly, Gigantti, they're running triple DPS. They're not running that D.Va.
I think this is one of the best points to really sell out and try to get first capture on because, as you mentioned, the entry is so bad. If they start seeing them rotate right around, you're going to see the Lucio go to the other side and try to knock them off as well. There's some good distraction up front from Fraggy. Keeps them back long enough to gain entry here. The Transcendence is popped on the other side as Zappis had come around with a flanking visor. Will get nothing out of it, and Fraggy, though he jumps in, a nice pulse bomb, though, from Davin equalizes things, and now the blade in effect as well. That is 5 kills combined. Make it 6 for the DPS of Team Gigantti.
Really good retake out of them, but I also must question like the amount of ultimates they threw into that. The pulse bomb and the blade together, your 2 big offensive ultimates, and right before that there was attack visor. You have no offensive ultimates anymore. All you're going to have is a sound barrier to maintain, and Kali, you should know he's getting closer to Graviton. Baito hasn't used his visor just yet, and there's still Meteor Strike could potentially be out there for RCK. So they take the point, yes, but for them to now maintain it, they need to get a pick somewhere. They need to get aggressive against this team, catch them out, and get that man advantage off the bat.
Well, Baito again pops his Visor in a very interesting position, and he's going to have to spend most of it just chasing down Linkser, but Linkser gets in, gets out, and gets Reaper while he was in there. So the Visor, again, questionable at best. Zappis is going to get a retreating Doomfist. RCK unable to get in there. They did take down Davin somewhere in there. Davin has actually gotten treated to the Doomfist more than once, and as a Tracer, I can relate. You feel like you could dodge it, but you can't. He's just that fast. And even if Davin's dying to it, I don't feel as bad about how many times I've been killed by Doomfist. So that's fine. That's all well and good. 52% on the board.
Pro players fail at things makes me feel better when I fail.
It does actually really make me feel a lot better. Meteor Strike now coming in, looking for some people in here. Does find one, and Supe gets rocked. And then the combo follow through air. Eventually, Davin will exact his revenge on RCK on the Doomfist, but that is too little too late. That was a lot of kills coming in from the side of ENCE. Still, though, since Stall comes in, they've not taken the point over just yet. Stall very difficult when the opposing team has a Zenyatta, Discord, and deleted as Lucio rolls in there.
So that's something teams need to get used to when playing against Doomfist. It's like, you know, we saw a lot of teams grouping up against Zarya, and eventually they learn, all right, let's spread out.
Right.
Yeah, when Doomfist, don't play inside rooms. Play out in the open the best you can, because you can run away from the Meteor Strike, but also you're not going to get punched into a wall like Zappis did and then eventually finished off. Zappis had no chance. Like, it either had to be a miss out of RCK or he was dead. But speaking of the man, RCK has switched over to Tracer here. Maybe looking for a pulse bomb combo, except Kali's been sitting on the Graviton for quite a long time here at Gigantti. They're running out of percent to work with. They need to force out some of these ultimates, but Davin getting Kelly Rippet here gets taken down, and I think this is going to be Gigantti just falling one by one.
You say Kelly Rippet?
Yeah.
Well done.
Kelly Rippet.
All right. Now, it does look like ENCE's going to be able to hold on to that fight. Davin's had a bit of a rough game, to be honest. He's kind of adjusting to this team. Tracer, you think that you can just freelance and add a lot to the team, but I think the best Tracers know exactly where the low targets are going to be, and they're going to have predictive nature there.
I was going to call something. I was going to call a reflected grab, but then I realized grab's on cooldown.
Yeah.
A little unfortunate. That Linkser does have his blade, though. There is going to be a Transcendence to stop this. So either Linkser's going to be using it to force out the Transcendence, or they have to hope the Transcendence gets popped in a different route with Fraggy focusing him down. But you can see this attack visor making it very difficult for them to push it onto the point. The Transcendence being used out of Gigantti just to make sure they can get on top of the point. Linkser using that blade. The Transcendence is going to be there to counter it. And the Earth Shatter, I don't believe it hit anyone. I think the Winston Bob out of Fraggy actually blocked for the most of it. But Linkser's still cleaning up. He gets himself a double kill. He's looking for the third. Eventually he's going to fall, but Zappis is there to help out. And Davin with the pulse spot will turn the point around. Gigantti are going to take the point back.
Linkser has a ability to carry teams regardless of what team he is on. Not that this team needs carrying by any means, but he has those giant moments, and it can be on the World Cup team. It could be on Old Dignitas. It could be any team. This guy is an exceptional player. They do make a very late switch, ENCE eSports does, onto a pharmacy combo.
And Diva.
And now a Diva into the mix. How dare I forget that there's Diva in there too. And they're going to have a hard time getting up, but they just allow free entry. They give up the position. This is ideal position for a pharmacy combo. Inside the room, pulling back all the way. Did they give up free cap?
They get the free cap over, but the thing is they desuited Kali, which is the biggest part of this one. And Rippa to have a chance to even get a resurrection is going to be pretty much null as Fraggy drops him in the sky, swatted him like the fly he is. And he's looking for the knockback as well on the Kali. Looking so good here for so far. Gigantti is Zappis using that attack visor to push them away. The Disu comes in yet again. I think they've been able to do it in the nick of time.
Should be the cleanup there. There are a couple in here now. It's a Lucio and a Trey, so they're going to have to go in full hero mode. Baito in the sky. And meanwhile, while Zappis is looking up, he does get taken out from behind. They're trading now back out on the point. Remember, this is still ENCE eSports point. They still are in control of this, so a couple more kills can be very difficult. Linkser trying to turn on hero mode again. He gets his blade out. He does only get the one before he is knocked down. And ENCE eSports not done on Lijiang Tower just yet.
I even called that one again too soon. I could have sworn Gigantti was going to be able to maintain that once they got all those kills. The respawn's a little bit too fast.
Yeah, I just don't know if they saw the pharmacy combo quickly enough, and then they gave up the free point. I don't like giving up free points ever. You know this.
Well, so I'm not against it in the way they were trying to do it. Was they actually, so they know they're pushing 6v4, right?
Yeah.
You get those kills, and as long as Davin or someone touches the point, you're fine.
Right.
So you get those kills, and then you shut it down completely. If you get the split decision of backing away or pushing forward, your team gets split up, you can be dismantled, or if you back away, then you get closed in from behind, and the Fair Mercy can just run away from you. So I didn't hate it, but the play out events was able to somehow cause the confusion they needed at Gigantti to throw them off.
Doomfist came in, and Doomfist was able to shut down a lot in. Yeah. Yeah, why not?
Support player.
You got to get to the point. Doomfist has that great mobility. Well, this is a stage that Gigantti looked dominant on earlier. We've talked about how even in control maps, different stages can get different teams fit. So we'll see if ENCE eSports has an adjustment here. The early adjustment is that they're not running a Doomfist early on. RCK is just going to run the Tracer straight up on it. I think Tracer's great on this map. On the other side, Gigantti is going to run a Tracer and a Doomfist, a little bit of a different composition. They're also going to try to get that damage in there, whereas the 76 is out from Beto, but it is Reaper who is ripping through this opposing team. 2 quick kills. They're now trying to be evened up here. Zupe and Davin do get a couple, but still all in favor of ENCE eSports. First capture goes their way.
Did you say Reaper ripping through?
I did.
Nice, not bad.
I mean, he's got a great name. I mean, like the Kelly Ripper reference, though, that's top tier. I don't think most people even know who that is.
I don't think most people do. I have another one ready to go, actually. Wait.
All right, good.
Let's see if we have a moment.
Good.
Let's bust this one out. Gigantti now looking for the retake here. Linkster looking for an opportunity to come in from the side again, trying to use the terrain towards his advantage. Does actually get taken down, and Baido's going to be the one to finish him up. But Ripper did a hell of a lot of damage to him before that one did fall. And ENCE, without having to use any ultimates, going to be able to maintain the point.
Yep, very easy for them. This is a brand new ENCE team, it seems. They've looked absolutely different these last 2 stages than they did in the first 2. Now they're going to have ultimates advantages coming in. They have the composition to hold close to the door. I wish more teams would. I think it's smarter to hold close to the door and then retreat if you get in trouble. But they've got Earth Shatter. They're going to have Grab Up. Those are huge shutout ultimates when people are coming through doorways. But they're just going to hold on, look for the right angle. Wonder if Cloudy's going to go for the giant flanking ult. There it is. There's the ult. Comes in, only gets 1. They're going to have to follow up with a Transcendence to make sure that everyone stays safe. Meanwhile, RCK went to the back line, didn't find what he was looking for, except he got a hammer to his face. The grab comes out, doesn't get much so far. Another sound barrier comes in too.
I like how Zappas actually waited on using those shields in the Graviton, hoping there was like a Pulse Bomb coming through, because Pulse Bomb isn't just necessarily an AoE explosion, it has to go through terrain to get to you. So if you have a shield in the way and it gets stuck on the other side from your team, it won't hit the people behind you, so you can protect the entirety of your team during a Pulse Bomb. Really smart play out of him, really showing the mastery of Zarya. In the meantime, he still has his grab, and unfortunately, Gigantti are just losing quite a few people. Looks like, I think it was Baido trying to come in from behind, but that Graviton's going to be good here out of Zappas. And the rest of Gigantti is able to clean this one up.
You got a Pulse Bomb in there. It has been the return of the Big Bang has been happening all throughout this tournament. You see one right there, Graviton into Pulse Bomb, and while he didn't get all the kills in the kill feed, that softens everybody up. Pulse Bomb so good into that grab combo. 8% now and counting. ENCE eSports at 87%. They are down 2-1 in this very first map. They need to win this stage and the next one unless they want to drop a first game. Remember, this is a semifinal, only best of 3.
And you can see Fraggy playing some mind games with Cloudy here. Both of them getting very close to their Earth Shadow. He takes him down before he has a chance to use it, as he was at 98% here. Mipa putting that Transcendence in maybe a little bit late here. And the rest of them actually, with them losing like their main tank, they have to be very careful here. But the thing is, Cloudy can charge back in. He can get to the point really quickly. And if that Earth Shatter comes down, it can completely punish out on Gigantti.
That is a couple of quick losses they could not afford. Now retreat in full effect. Just dropping Cali right there was the first part of the signal. Then you lose your Lucio. That is it. You can't lose 2 like that early. Especially getting 0 damage on the other team. You're not going to be able to flip that fight back. ENCE knows this, of course, and back out. They're also in the luxurious position of being able to only have to win 1 more fight. They're going to bank some ultimates. Cloudy's going to be looking for the Shatter. Ryan game's in full effect now as both Ryans go toe-to-toe.
Yeah, you gotta be really careful. You're actually standing behind.
Oh, no.
The position he wants to go, but they've gotten so many kills, they don't necessarily need to use it here. Linkster switching to the Soldier. Gonna get grabbed behind the wall, so he's definitely happy about this one. That's gonna be the Transcendence as well. Actually trying to get the charge on the Trance, I think, out of that one. Hits Frog instead. Linkster gets the kill into RCK somehow. Gigantti turning this fight around, even though they're ones who got grabbed together. Davin has that Pulse Bomb, but we haven't seen him use it just yet.
Well, they haven't given up the point yet either, but they were losing too many players. They lost Fraggy there. There goes Big Goose, the newest addition to this Gigantti roster. Of course, the Team Alpha player before. He's running the main Lucio. They're going to get back in here just in time. This should be the final fight, almost no matter which way it goes. Pulse Bomb comes in. Big Goose accidentally rolls over it. It was on the ground, and he rollerbladed right on top. The Transcend comes in. Despite the Transcend, though, 3 kills, 4 kills come out for Gigantti.
Did Fraggy just charge him outside of the wall? That little bit of a bug that happens with Reinhardt at the moment where you charge at the end of the charge, you can push people through terrain. I think you charged him to the outside of that window on the right-hand side. That was pretty insane, but 85% now for Gigantti. They do have a Pulse Bomb. They do have a Graviton Surge coming up really soon. This could be the final nail in the coffin for Lijiang Tower for ENCE eSports if this grab Pulse Bomb does land.
Well, Zappas is setting up. He's looking for the right angle. Fraggy's just sitting there protecting him with Zappas. Oh, he was toying with the idea of going for a flank. Does find his angle in. He does get 3 in there. The pulse bomb comes off and it pops off 2. There goes Callie. Down goes Trick Wide as well. That is all the healing. And there's a victory visor coming out of Linkser as Gigantti has taken map number 1 of this semifinal over ENCE eSports.
And again, you see the difference it can make, and I guess maybe experience between Kali and Zappis, because Kali used his shield right away before the pulse bomb was even thrown down. And they just bursted through it, threw the pulse bomb on top of him. He had no way to actually prevent the rest of his team from dying. And they do secure themselves. Well, not ENCE, Gigantti secure themselves the win. Look at that nice little pulse bomb from Davin. Actually, it's booped away, blinks back in because they thought they were safe. Lands it, picks up 2.
Yeah, they thought they were safe, and then Linkser and Davin decided to put on a 2-man show. That was a beautiful fight for them. Of course, those are some of the newer players here. This Rest in Pajamas, former NIP team, now Gigantti. They've added 3 new players in about the last 3 months, I want to say. It's been Linkser.
Not even that.
Yeah, maybe less than that.
Linkser was like during contenders.
Yeah, you're right. So Linkser was added, and then they added Davin, of course, former Cyclones. And then they added Big Goose about a week before this tournament, former Alpha Squad. So they're picking up new players. And they needed, I think it's going to take them a second to adjust their style around them, but it was good to see the DPS be able to carry that squad.
Let's have a little conversation.
Rap
here.
sesh?
No, I'm white, and I'm Jewish, which makes it even worse. It's even harder to do. Let's talk about, Gigantti, because we talked with Linkser about this before, and you have Davin, who comes from Cyclones, who was a Tracer player that really stood out.
Yes.
He hasn't stood out too much, not because of his individual skill, but because when he was in Cyclones, he was supported as like a carry player.
Yes, absolutely.
And we're not seeing that with Gigantti. Same with Linkser. Like before he was in Dignitas, like he was in Creation eSports, he was a standout player. The team played around him a little bit more.
Yes.
And when he went to Dignitas, he became like a flex tank for them, playing like the Zarya, so he wasn't really able to be supported in that kind of sense. And out here with Gigantti, I still feel like they're not really putting Linkser and Davin on the pedestal they should be on to play around them. Instead, it's kind of like still around Fraggy, which is about the triple tank setup.
Right.
And that kind of worries me because that's what the game's kind of become, is about those all-star players and what's the best way to make that player perform. Like having Shadowburn on your team, it's like
I agree.
Not putting him on Genji or putting him on Genji and like not helping him at all.
Right, and there also might be a meta that comes back where you do just have to support your Reinhardt, and Fraggy does get to be that all-star guy, but that is how NIP came up, was Fraggy was the raid boss. He was the end game monster. He got Zarya shields. He got Ana in his pocket the entire time. That's how this team won. And then also Himsy would hit hooks and make his job that much easier. That's how NIP became. And I agree with you. They're having a little bit of problems letting that go. That's ancient history in Overwatch. That's 6 months ago, might as well be 10 years ago. That's how quick this game moves. And
no, it's true. In all esports, like the teams who can adapt the quickest to like new metas, to new champions, new heroes, new items are the teams who succeed the best.
I'm willing to give them a little bit of time to work it out because they are newer players, especially Davin. A lot of people think just throw a Tracer on there, let Tracer do Tracer things. It doesn't work entirely like that. You do still play with your team.
Give him the real estate to do that, to sit in the back. You have to apply so much pressure from the front that he can dance.
And the Tracer has to understand where those openings are going to be. And for each team, that's different. Each team's going to give you different openings based on their play style too. So it is going to be a work in progress. Now you have a brand new Lucio. Big Goose coming over. He was a main support for Alpha. He's very capable of doing it. But you still have to work all those pieces out. Where's your Lucio going to be? The Tracer needs to find the Lucio. These players haven't worked together before. So there's a lot of moving pieces still with this Gigantti team.
There's also a lot of give and take of like where your healers are focusing. If you're not running an Ana, it takes a long time to heal a Winston up, from 10% HP. Like, that's a lot of time to invest in healing him. That's time, Linkster's not being healed. That's time that David's not being healed, and they can't get aggressive like they want to be as effective. But here we go, going on to Nabani. Gigantti going to be on the defense first, and ENCE going to be on the attack. Looks like RCK is going to be on Doomfist yet again here. Gigantti going with the double hit scam of the Soldier and the Tracer.
Makes a lot of sense. Devin played the defensive Tracer here yesterday on Numbani, and right now, though, that is Zappis getting desuited. That is really, really bad. He's going to try to get his Bunny Blaster going, but it's very difficult to do so without taking too much damage. Though that Bunny Blaster can really chip in on fights, it is surprisingly powerful. They are tired. Zappis takes out Doomfist. He just Bunny Blasted Doomfist in the grill. My goodness. Diva OP.
But his StarCraft is too hard for one fist to really play against. I don't know what that was about. He just dies. I think it was him and Cloudy diving into him, and still Zappis picked up that kill and then escapes, gets his mech back, and he's like, GG.
Wow. I guess that is some good APM there from Zappis, able to get that. I mean, it does do a lot of damage.
Are you even trying?
Yeah. Going for a new high score. All right, well, that's a first defensive hold there.
I kind of wish we had a Bastion now, just to hear you do the Bastion voice lines. Beep, boop, boop.
I can do the bashing dance moves, that's for sure. Well, over top, they do take the long way up into the stairs. This is kind of the slower pusher rather than diving. Counter dive does come in on the other side. Linkster has popped his visor, but it's not going to find a whole lot here. Where's all the sound barrier for the other side? Offense coming in, sound barrier again. And it's just been Fraggy jumping up and down, cleaves in, cleaves out. Now he's got the Primal Rage looking to knock someone off the edge. And that's going to be enough right there. With the Cali being D-maxed and RCK being doomed out of the map, it's going to be another first hold for Gigantti, and it's going to be just over 2 minutes. That's 3 pushes at best, Jason, for ENCE to take this first point on Nimbani.
And this is potentially the last map for ENCE eSports. I mean, they beat them 3-2 earlier on in the Finnish Championships, and yet they potentially be knocked out of the semifinals with not even seeing a third map, where currently Gamers Origin are waiting for their opponent. Let's see, Davin has Pulse Bomb. Big Goose is going to have his sound barrier, and Zupe has, most importantly, his nano boost. So Fraggy probably going to be the one to be equipped with that one. You can see Fraggy in the high ground, the enemies detected as he's just crouching on top of that sign, trying to get some damage
right
in.
Away. Pulse Bomb onto a big source of the damage that's supposed to be coming in, and that is going to be RCK. Actually, Baito does not even understand that he is inside the Matrix. It was coming from behind him. He was kind of confused why his gun wasn't doing enough damage, but Zappis crept up from behind, was able to get that going here. They got a couple kills on the offense, but I don't think it's going to be enough. They need to get kills and sustain on here. If they can do that, that'll be good, because now they're getting the reinforcements. Here comes RCK on the Doomfist, calling his shot. Davin still dancing around.
Oh, he went deep.
They can go back in here. They absolutely can and should go back in here. They're going to have Pulse Bomb up. You do not want to give this for free. Meteor Strike, I believe. Nope, that was just a regular old Seismic Slam. Comes in.
That was Meteor Strike. RCK used it to escape, I believe, and then used it to try to zone them off. The thing is now Tackfire is being popped out of Linkster. To be a Raging Monk in front of him, and he doesn't put his back to that open area. He puts it to the wall, so he cannot be knocked in that direction, because eventually you're going to get focused down. Ripa is able to secure that kill, and Zappis has that self-destruct, or actually has the resuit. The problem is they haven't really been able to pick up kills here, and I think ENCE have been able to take this first point.
They will get this first point eventually at the 25th hour. 40 seconds left right there, and it just too many kills. But the good thing is, I brought up that they had gotten a couple kills that were trades, but they needed to fight and sustain on that point. They couldn't lose anymore before reinforcements came. So they had the Winston, and they kind of all congregated in that fishbowl waiting for Doomfist to come back in. When Doomfist came back in, then they started re-engaging and picked up the kills they needed. But had they lost 1 or 2 more players in that 5-second window, that push would have been all for naught.
Well, now going into the second phase here. Gigantti, are they going to go for an aggressive defense, or are they going to sit back? Ideally, they're going to be going in. They should be able to spot out Cloudy on the high ground on his perch. He's eventually going to drop from this one. Fraggy going super ham here, going really deep, trying to go for that, going for Reaper, maybe for the Transcendence, but they should know it's actually on cooldown at the moment. He's able to knock them away, and that self-destruct's going to come through. Is their bubble even able to stop this one? No, but it doesn't matter. They have the doorways to hide in.
Playing very aggressive up front here. Davin's dancing around. He does want to find a Pulse Bomb target. Every second that you're holding Pulse Bomb is a second you could be rebuilding another Pulse Bomb, is my theory on Tracer. Linkster onto the Genji now, too, instead of the double hit scan. Genji's going to be able to... Linkster's blades have been just on point so far throughout this entire tournament. It's almost a guaranteed 2K every time he pops one, so I think switching over there is great. Fraggy goes down early there, finds himself a little too deep, and that means no shielding going to be out here as Baito tries to get in here with the visor. Will end up taking out Zappis, so definitely no one in his way now. With no more tanks, the DPS are going to have a hard time finding space to operate, especially in these narrow corridors as they are. Splash damage onto Big Goose takes him down, and that is an ENCE eSports fight, won and over very quickly. Tanks went down too quick there for Gigantti.
Just waiting to have an opponent of Gigantti with a player named Maverick on it. That'd be pretty epic.
Maverick and Goose, eh?
Yep.
Yep.
We do have, looks like, the Transcendence and the Pulse Bomb. Davin has to go pretty big here with this Pulse Bomb if they want to have a chance to halt this push here onto the second point. Zappis going to be the first one to lead through. Does get the defense matrix out. Doesn't have any backup just yet, so he's just trying to stall for some time here as he's on top of the payload. RCK has a Meteor Strike ready. Does get the D-suit, and most importantly, going to be using this one to try to stop them from coming around the corner. Use it directly with the payload. Linkster, you got to be careful, son. Don't go to that doorway. Eventually won't. And still the kills are going the way of ENCE eSports.
Well, Linkster's got his blade out, trying to find something. Meanwhile, in the background, Davin hits another clutch Pulse Bomb, takes down 2. That might be enough. With the Orb of Discord, it's going to be very easy to clean up the remainder of this, and they clutch it out right before second is capped. Wow. That's huge because that sets the spawns all the way back here. Now there's going to be a long walk. The worst place, in my opinion, to be stopped on escorts and hybrid maps is right before second. The walk is almost always the longest.
I thought you were going to be like, yeah, the worst place on escort to get halted is right before a point.
Yeah.
Like, congrats, you know, Einstein, you know, thanks for that little tidbit. That's like one of the tips in the games. That's like the most obvious thing. Push A to jump.
Yeah. Shooting your enemy does damage.
If you run out of health, you die.
I mean? So like King's Row second,
no,
like,
you're right.
Stop right there is awful.
It's always the longest in the longest stretch.
Zupe goes down very early as Baito switched himself onto this Tracer. Some flexibility being shown here from ENCE eSports. They flex onto that. Fraggy going for a little bit. Fraggy's found himself out in no man's land. Needs to find heals. Does not. He instead finds some more pulse pistol fire in the back. And with, again, the tanks going down very early for Gigantti, that will be second point pushed and an extension of the clock for ENCE eSports.
So at least force it into overtime. So ENCE are on a knife's edge here. Just struggling for any meter that they can possibly get. Gigantti, they get set up decently. Not a lot of ultimates to use just yet, but Dav has been pretty legit with his pulse bomb so far. Zappa switching over to the Zarya to try to be a little bit more effective as Kali has done the same. And RCK is getting close to his blade. Switch off the Tracer, where Baito's the one to actually pick it up here. It's actually going to wonder if they're running Tracer Genji combos.
They can only afford to lose one fight. Fraggy down early yet again. He has been abused by Baito's Tracer. Linkser falls to his counterpart, and he's going to say that ENCE eSports can only afford to lose one fight. That's not going to be this one. They absolutely dominate this fight. The chase is there. Where's Baito's Tracer been? He's been on 76 most of the tournament, but this Tracer has been crushing Gigantti.
Yeah, that's something that we've been wondering, right? It's like, can they run the Genji Tracer combo? We'll have to hold on to that because ENCE is on the cusp of finishing this map. 3 meters left to go. It's finally Davin going to be the one to touch this, but do they have the kills they need? Linkser has his blade ready. Reaper is only at 91%. If Linkser uses his blade now, he can completely catch him off guard here and maybe pick up the kills to solidify this map. 29 seconds left to go. ENCE are trying to finish with time left. That'd be so important for them. They need at least that 1 second. And let's see, Blade going to be coming out. Transcendence going to be respawned out of Reaper, and RCK is not able to. Actually, no, Linkser, he dies before he uses it, but RCK is the one to use his Blade, but he gets responded with a Transcendence.
But enough stall, though, that Linkser can come out. It's just going to be a matter of if his team's going to be there to help him out. He needs to pop his Blade as quickly as possible. Now, getting stall on the cart, only 2 meters left to go. Linkser does get his Blade out, gets one. He gets his counterpart in the Genji. Looking for more, not enough, as all it is Reaper again on the cleanup crew. They finish with 1.2 seconds left.
Reaper putting the RIP back in Team Gigantti here. As he does pick up those 2 kills.
Was that the one we were waiting for?
Yeah, are there
more?
No, it's not the one.
Are there more gems coming out? There better be a better one.
That was the one, but I'm just gonna say it wasn't, just because you were not really impressed at all with that.
That's all right.
Come on, putting the RIP back in.
No, I liked it. It was good. It was good.
Yeah, but that look you're giving me is like, I'm just saying this on camera. If we were off camera, he'd be like, Jason, I'm so disappointed in you.
No,
I'm never casting with you again.
I've publicly booed jokes on cast before, so.
Yeah, but they're your own though.
Well, they all deserve to be booed, which is why.
So they finish, I believe, in overtime, if I'm not mistaken. No, 1.2 seconds.
Yeah.
So we
you were
explain.
so focused on your RIP joke that you missed the call 1.2 seconds.
No. Have you heard how bad my jokes are? Do you think I actually think them out before I say them?
That's absolutely true.
Oh, thanks. Thanks, man.
The
Really
crushing
nice.
thing for Gigantti has got to be that they almost had them stop so many places. I mean, the first defense was solid. The second defense especially, they almost had them before seconds. And then the last defense, they were getting close to it, but they had chance after chance, just one more fight.
Well, the first fight after second point that Gigantti did was just really kind of weird.
Yeah.
Like, Zappis went off to try to kill Reaper by himself. He was overextended. Then we also saw Fraggy die immediately on the Winston to Baito. So it was just kind of like a not really organized attack at all, but they also knew we didn't have many ultimates to even work with anyways. So I don't know. Gigantti, they have a chance to take this one, though. 1.2 seconds. Obviously, now, if Gigantti do finish, no matter what, I believe, they get time on the clock. Yeah, because ENCE finished with under a minute. So what the whole point of ENCE finishing with time left means if they finish with 0 and Gigantti finished with over a minute, they would not have a second chance to attack. They'd have to defend that first third. So very important for ENCE to just get a single second on the clock, which they pretty much did.
Right. But now important for Gigantti to respond and finish the map. And we were talking a little bit yesterday. Numbani, not the easiest of maps to finish. A very long map, a lot of chances for mistakes and things to go wrong. Have to run it pretty perfectly throughout. We'll see what this first fight leads. Linkser looking for a little bit of poke in the back line. Fraggy gets caught out on an island yet again.
I asked him about this yesterday because we saw him do the exact same thing, and he said it didn't work because of the position that the soldier was in, because they were too spread out. The Tracer and the soldier, they're supposed to be like in a similar direction. Otherwise, he can sit there and contest the payload and stay alive with the shield in front of him.
Yeah.
I still am not a big fan of it, but Fraggy's like a Rhine god, so I'm not going to really question him when it comes to that.
That's also true. I just want to point out that it's been a rough 5 or 6 minutes for him on Winston and Reinhardt. He's been all alone in several situations, and they've been absolutely punishing it.
Should become a main. I mean, he has a wall, a shield, right? That counts. 1,000 HP on each pillar.
Yeah, totally.
Well, Reinhardt has. RCK beat Nano boosted really early on here, looking for some kills, and maybe more importantly, just to get some ult % built up for him. He's up to 80 now, but that Nano was a little bit questionable.
That was, yeah, interesting, ambitious, however you want to call it. The other blade does come in from the other side. Linkser
Where was the
gets taken
protection?
out
Where was the
very
defense
quickly.
matrix?
Yeah, not there. Zappos is on his own, doing his own thing, and now the blade comes out from RCK that they built up with that nano boost. And RCK will quickly dispatch both support players. All the damage permanent means that this offense is essentially over for Gigantti.
It just looked like Linkser, he dashed in, but like Zappos tried to follow him, but he didn't give them protection he did. Just with the defense matrix just came alive, and that just can't really happen. Maybe that's just some time with something to get used to, but you know, Linkser's been on this team for a long time now, so I don't know.
Well, I think Linkser died to the Tesla cannon, which defense matrix doesn't do anything against anyway.
But there was damage before that, right?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, Tesla's not going to do all of the damage by himself.
Well, either way, the blade is now down. Zappos waiting for that respawn. 2 minutes left to take this point here. ENCE trying to fight for the chance to hold on into a third map here in the series. Actually, they have 2 support ultimates here on the side of Gigantti. Yeah. And Davin looking to get set up maybe on the high ground. I'm actually trying to spot out. He's on the low ground, actually.
Both support ultimates should mean that they have the advantage in this fight, although the support ultimates could come online for ENCE eSports here. They're actually going to open up first with their own sound barrier, and smart play generally by Gigantti to pull back, but Linkser finds himself on the wrong side of a self-destruct.
It was a nice sound barrier that came through because it saved RCK's life. Okay. But then again, you're saving one person. I'm not sure if that one person is necessarily enough to stop the fight from happening. But then again, I mean, we did see Kali get the kill on a Linkser, so we knew it was over from there. But anyways, they kept him alive. They still have Trans. Actually, they don't have Trans. They have Nano, which I don't know who they're going to throw it onto this one. Maybe RCK again, because he's getting really close to his blade.
Well, we do open up with a sound barrier on the side of Gigantti. Davin looking for a little bit of targets. His only target being a Diva, not ideal. Linkser does find himself out in no man's land yet again. He is punished and taken down by Cloudy. Zappos, self-destruct, evens it out. Both teams now without a Genji. Cloudy jumps around and jumps in. This fight has to make some sort of progress for Gigantti, but Primal Rage is going to knock Zupe out of the fight. And they have to retreat again. Jason, they're down to their last push, I mean, Bonnie, just to get first point. I mean, there's no guarantees after this.
And keep in mind, Davin's not playing Tracer. I mean, a Soldier's, it's not been amazing, but it's definitely not been the level of his Tracer, so they're definitely trying to, I think it's like, if you're on a Soldier, you want to get him on the high ground, have, Fraggy protect him initially, or have Zappos protect him, then jump across when you need to. But this positioning could be so good. Fraggy's looking for some knockoffs. He gets slept, though. Reaper connects perfectly without Linkser. Can he pick up any kills with his blade? He's actually getting kited for the most part. Gets booped away as well by the Diva out of Kali. And Linkser's going to get nothing. There's 20 seconds left on the clock, and Gigantti have not picked up any kills. Actually, sorry, RCK did go down, but still, they need more than that to take this.
Well, Linkser does finally get the cleanups now. It is not slicing and dicing. It is dashing through everyone. These resets come fast and furious here. They will finally take the first point. And if you're a Gigantti fan, you have to be sweating that one out. They will take first point. A little bit of stall comes out from RCK. Not going to do a whole lot there. Maybe looking for a miracle. But now, 2 minutes, 29 seconds to get to the second point, and they're going to need every bit of it. It is a long haul from first point capture to second point checkpoint.
2.5 minutes, though. Really just giving the opportunity to do it. They just cannot afford to get slowed down too much, which should be ENCE's game plan. Fight on the payload every single time you possibly can. If you win a fight, hey, you're going to hold them there for a long time. If you don't, you still took away 30 seconds time from that clock. Davin has his visor up, so is Trance in a few seconds. RCK just trying to stall from the backside again. There's no McCree like we saw earlier on with the Gamer's Origin game with Hardest. Right. Be that backline protection. So RCK knows he has the freedom to sit here as long as he doesn't get Helix Rocket or headshotted by Zenyatta.
He doesn't even need kills. I like what he's doing. Just poking around, making them turn around. It opens things up for the other rest of the team.
Yeah, Big Goose and Davin are chasing him.
Yeah, exactly. They transcended, but now a counter sound barrier on both sides. Self-destruct comes in over the top. Will get Reaper there as Reaper down on Cloudy, now down, and Linkser has decided that he's going to try to take this team over. Gets a couple of kills. Zupe does fall. They're getting a lot of kills, but no progress on the card as the proper style is going.
I think Davin switching to Tracer here, running the Soldier back to spawn.
Yes, he is. Davin on his home hero of Tracer will come back into this one. Buck 15 on the clock here as they round the corner of the bus. That's where they need to go, right on the ground. Their second point. They're really only going to have one, at best, 2 chances to do it. Primal Rage, Dragon Blade, ready for them.
Yeah, they got to bait out this Trance, though. Reaper at 95%. They need to somehow get rid of it. Fraggy's going to have to be the one to jump in, which he does exactly that. Reaper about half HP, but he's not really being pressured too much. I believe Trickfire is able to keep him alive, and Zupe actually getting flanked by RCK, who's actually able to get a second kill to Big Goose. Then forced back to the health pack. The payload is less than a meter away from finishing the second checkpoint, and yet Gigantti are running out of people.
That's not going to matter. They have to reset. 0.65 is where that card is going to stay. A little over 30 seconds now on the clock for one more push for Gigantti. It's going to be on the back of Linkser's blade. It's been good enough to carry them so far. The cart will retreat a little bit, but it doesn't really matter. They need to win this fight decisively to get a second point. Even then, it's not guaranteed. That is a beautiful entry pick, though, as David wins his TBT early on. 6v5 now for this fight.
Well, Blake going to come in for Linkster. Reaper did use Transcendence in that last fight, and Lynx was able to keep his up, and he's doing a lot of damage. He's not picking up kills, no, but it's allowing the rest of his team, like Fraggy, like David, to help clean these up one by one. Lynx was able to finally take down Kali. The payload won't get Z9 this time. It will cross the payload, or the checkpoint, and we'll get another minute and a half added to the clock here.
Oh, all right.
So it's guaranteed under a minute for both these teams now, which is really good.
Yes. Definitely going to be under a minute for both teams, but Gigantti is playing on the razor's edge here. 1:15 on the clock. That's one good push, one we have to touch the cart push.
I thought you were going to say that's 75 seconds. That's 8,900.
You know I can't do that math.
Neither can I. Sunstruck thrown in really deep here. That pulse bomb, though, going to land directly on the Cloud, as we mentioned before. Reinhardt is a magnet for pulse bombs, but Kali somehow gets a double. Throw that Sunstruck in towards the back.
You reset right now.
Well, it looks like they're going. Well, I was going to say, it looks like they're going to, but Lynx was able to pick up another kill before escaping. Death. He escapes this cruel world. The freedom.
Taken by the unfeeling void, apparently. Well,
I mean, that's just a scary place to build a city around. If you ever fall off the city, you die, right? You think about it? It's like Bioshock Infinite, you know?
Yeah.
Living in the clouds.
Yeah, or they're like the Fifth Element.
It's a good movie.
It is. All right, last fight incoming here. They're going to open it up with a sound barrier to try to give everyone health. So a nice later sound barrier on the side of the defense. Transcend now comes in now as all this damage gets knocked away by the power of faith. Fraggy gets the first kill on his counterpart. Linkster comes in, gets a dash kill. Both supports now out of it for Gigantti. Davin on his counterpart. Everyone comes in. It is a full team kill. However, while the crowd goes wild behind me, there's going to be time for them to come out and at least stall this. You'd have to think this charge gets there. Can it get there? You got to get there. It does. Now, can they get the kills they need? Transcend comes out. This is so close right now. The first kill could mean a lot. Fraggy down. That's a dash through. Zap is desuited. Earthshatter comes in over the top in desperation. Linkster gets the one. I don't think they have enough. I don't think they have enough here. Jason Gigantti trying their best. Zap is outside of his suit looking for a couple more. He does get taken down. That's it. There will be no more. Zap is actually still on the stall out. They got to set out.
Fraggy.
Yeah, they're coming behind. Fraggy with the triple jump gets onto the point again. Here comes the Transcend to keep him alive. Are they going to pull this back? I have seen stranger things in Overwatch, but very unlikely. All this cleave comes in. Where are the DPS to come back? With those two down, overtime's going to burn quick. Sound barrier down. ENCE eSports has tied up this semifinals.
Linkster, he almost had Blades to at 80%. If he could have just gotten back. ENCE holding on strong. That Earthshatter coming through, but also the thing is, Reaper, he died to Linkster, but like at 98% on his Transcendence, but that worked out for him because he's able to come back in from respawn and keep Cloudy alive to defend that payload, to build up his own Earthshatter to finish that one off. And somehow ENCE, they come up big. And that means we're going to a third map here. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it's definitely going to be a close one.
Hey,
let's see some Assault. We haven't had a single Assault map.
I don't think you would want to play Assault into Gigantti because Zupe has shown you that he can play a really good Sombra.
But Assault. I want to see Assault.
Well, no, what we want to see and what the players actually do are two different
casters
things.
have a say what maps are played?
I think we should just be able to pick all the maps.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I would do.
I would just pick Assault every time.
I would pick a variation of Ilios where it's just ruins for 5 straight
You want to cast that for 5 games straight.
I do. I like Widow play that much that I would like to cast that.
Just make him do a custom game of the Widow v Widow, 6v6 Widows, headshot only.
My vote actually in the production meetings was to do finals on Mystery Heroes, but
you're such a major connoisseur of Mystery Heroes.
I do enjoy it. Well, because when you play comp, you only get to play a certain amount of heroes, right? And like playing quick play, you never like. I still feel like a jerk picking Hanzo in quick play. But like Mystery Heroes, it's like, hey, I gotta play. You know, it just makes you like mechanically sounder at a lot of different heroes. And it's a comp.
Is it because your PC's a little bit? You have a slow hard drive, so you can't lock in Tracer right away.
No, I do have an SSD just so I can lock in Tracer right away.
Worst type of person.
It's totally worth it.
At least you don't pick Hanzo all the time.
No, actually, I won a couple of comp games as Reinhardt. You'd be proud of me. I just unbinded shift. And I just walked forward. Yes.
Smart.
Whenever I shift, I just die. So I decided
his
not
Q
to.
because his Q doesn't really work well anymore either.
Yeah.
But anyway, so back to this game. Again, not really sure what the map is. Let me just double check. Route 66, it looks like.
Not surprising. We've seen a lot of Route 66 so far in this tournament. And
sad. I definitely wanted to see some assault. I really did.
You know, at what point if Gigantti loses this, do they start making roster changes again?
No.
Because then you've lost to ENCE twice in the same day. Look, ENCE, fine team, fine Finnish team. A non-factor on the world scene. You could say that, right?
Yeah.
They've not been in contenders. They've not really done anything outside of Finland. If you're Gigantti, you're expected to be making contenders qualifiers at the very least. You're expected to do better than you're doing. If you lose to ENCE twice in the same day, you start thinking of making some changes.
But I mean, like a broken
you just
clock
got a new
right
sponsor
twice a day, right?
I guess.
I mean, it's like saying like if I lose to Mitch,
But
I
this is
never
not-
have lost to Mitch 1v1. If I lose to him twice in a day, should I just quit playing?
Probably. But this is not in a
Probably,
this is not in a vacuum for Gigantti though. This is not just they lost to ENCE twice, but they've been dominating everything else. You know what I
True.
mean? So it's like
That's true.
when is the straw that breaks the Gigantti back? It's got to be a giant straw. Sorry.
What's the facial hair that's going to break their neck?
Yeah.
I don't know. You see Fraggy. It's a magnificent beard. Yeah, so it looks like, I'm just going to double check for 366. Yeah, it is. We're going to reload in a second.
Yeah,
Looks like it will be Gigantti on attack, if I can read my colors correctly.
Okay.
As you do, reading colors. And it looks like it will be ENCE on defense. Again, we're not really sure about the map pool from the Finnish finals that we had, the Finnish champion finals, unfortunately.
Right.
I tried to find the VODs online, couldn't find them.
But it went to 5. We know that.
We do know that.
And it went to 5, so we are kind of expecting that this one would go to at least 3. Well, only 3. Maximum of 3, of course.
No, let's make it go 4. Just add an extra map.
Yeah, make it go 4. Well, that's a pretty aggressive defense, at least starting off, but they decide to pull back, think better of it. Callie very low, does get out of there with his life as the rewind comes in. Actually, never mind, Linkser punishes him with a late Helix rocket. Callie's been such a good part of this team that they're going to have to retreat and wait for it. That's a lot of free push coming around the corner. If you watch some of the matches lately on Route 66, getting around that corner can be tough for some teams, so already a good bit of progress there. And they're in a nice position right now. They're spread out. They've got all their angles covered. Fraggy just chilling in the corner down low, making sure that the left side is not free to enter in. And now they come in over top. They did give up the high ground for free, though.
Yeah, a little bit questionable, and I believe I was about to see Zupe be caught off guard there as he was inside the caverns on the high ground. But Davin's going to get the best of Cloudy yet again here, and Davin's still playing inside of Big Earls, just trying to focus on these targets one by one, and it's just all going Gigantti's way. Yeah, ENCE, was there even a defense there? I'm not sure what happened. They didn't put up a single amount of resistance in this first point.
No, it's defense made out of paper mache and chewing gum at best. That was awful. Like, got
Some
pulled
energy
right through.
chewing gum, which we have learned about here in
Yes.
Finland. That is a thing. You can get energy from chewing gum, and yes, it tastes exactly like you expect.
It tastes like an energy drink is what we meant to. We're
The
implying there.
world.
All right. Well, they come in through. They get first point for absolutely free. No ultimates on the side of either team, but it does seem like Zupe and Fraggy are working their way towards it. Up over the top, trying to get a little bit of damage up there. Trying to get something going on top. Not quite enough right now. And still, really no team engaging hard yet. The defense is running a dive defense, but they've really yet to go in. That is a beautiful pulse bomb from Davin, who's had those all day. He's really come alive after a questionable day, I think, on Tracer for him yesterday. He's taken over this match. Gets a couple pulse bombs, gets all the tanks out of there, and that means that everyone's going to get cleaned up in short order. Fraggy on an adventure all alone. Yes, looking for the flank shatter is Fraggy. Waiting for them to come in around that corner. But oftentimes people don't come in that way. Usually it's through this top right side, but maybe they'll...
Depends on the presence. Like, I'm surprised Zappos isn't
Yeah,
there.
that's what I was going to say. You send either Zappos or if you have a Winston up there to bully them out. But RCK is coming in whether you like it or not. He's running Doomfist, and Doomfist doesn't care about your shield. That's the flank shatter. Only gets the D.Va down, though. We will charge the D.Va out. It skims him against the wall. A little rough ride there for Callie. Callie eventually demeched and deleted. Reaper also down. This fight going 100% the way of Gigantti. Only one kill comes in, but it is too late. That's a nice flanking shatter to open it up, and they took both tanks out quickly, Jason.
They did. I mean, Callie just didn't have control of his own hero for such a long time. He got shattered, then he got charged into a wall, he got desuited, and then Reinhardt v D.Va, baby D.Va, it could only go one way.
Did you see that charge? He skimmed him against that wall for a while.
Yeah.
A little Tony Hawk.
A little road burn.
Yeah.
What's with you and Tony Hawk, all right? Leave it alone. Tony Stark, Tony Hawk.
I miss Tony Hawk being a good game. That's
was
what I
a good
miss.
game.
Yeah, like 2002 was a peak All right, Transcendence comes in. Earthshatter going to knock that Transcendence right down as Fraggy's done enough damage to end this fight with the Transcend 2. Fraggy, the Reinhardt God, going nuts. They get a couple more kills. Davin will come in as well, add in his 2 cents. And this map has been all Gigantti from start to finish. Defense from ENCE eSports has been nigh non-existent. What do they need to do here, Jason? Aside from anything.
Anything. To do. No, I don't know. It's just kind of weird because they're kind of getting caught off at wrong times. Like, the Earthshatter completely caught Cloudy off guard. It knocked down quite a few people. The Davin was there. It just seems like every puzzle piece is falling into place for Gigantti. And ENCE have just been unable to stop this constant pain train that's been coming their way. We'll see another kill come in for Fraggy, getting the best of Cloudy. Links are on the high ground too, able to take that away. And this time bank that they have is insane. Almost 4 minutes left, and they're about to finish this map. Get that kill, Cloudy. Don't let him resuit. There you go, Linkster. Well played by him. That was even worth him dying.
That's some great camera work. We got to see that ragdoll there towards the end. Desperation time comes in as the charge comes in onto the cart, but it is cleanup time as everyone's getting deleted. Fido eventually takes down Fraggy, who's the threat, but his Links are up top with the visor. That is going to be a completion with 3 minutes and 30 seconds in the bank. That is a stunningly fast time on Route 66.
That's an insane time. That's actually, I don't think I've ever seen that amount of time left in like in a professional level game.
It might be the fastest time.
Yeah, and I think no, I think it's Reunited who actually was it NIP or Reunited that finished like Gibraltar in 4 minutes extra of time.
Yeah.
Not extra. They had 4 minutes left. Like the fastest we've ever seen.
Yeah, I've seen in NA that happens a lot in Gibraltar. A team just starts rolling and just know it. You just can't get a team. But like Selfless, I think did it once where the other team got 1 kill against them the whole time.
Feels bad.
Yeah,
feels bad. Sounds
man.
like me playing ranked. 1 kill. Yeah. So that time 335. Sorry.
Right.
Is insane. I mean, that means if you lose like one fight, say if you lose like 1, maybe 2 fights, you're pretty much guaranteed to finish with less time than them.
Yes,
and because they didn't finish less than a minute, you're not guaranteed extra time on the clock.
The thing was, even though they didn't win any fights, there wasn't even really any significant stall. There was never really, we're fighting on the cart, so the cart's not moving. There were a few times where someone would come in late and dance around it for a second, but nothing significant at all. 335 left in the bank on 66. I thought they'd be able to stabilize towards the end because I don't put a whole lot of stock when a team blows through first. That's fine. Second could also go that way if you're running momentum like Gibraltar, but last is always a defender's advantage. You have the biggest defender's advantage on last, and to get nothing going there.
For me, it was kind of like using a piece of tissue paper, not like, a tissue, but like tissue paper you put in like a wrapping thing.
Yeah.
Tissue paper,
Yeah, because I don't like wrapping gifts, so I just get like the bag, right, and then put tissue paper.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But you just have to like stop a nosebleed. Like that's just not going to work, and that's exactly what was happening.
Right.
There was just constant bleed that they just could not stop. They could not amputate quick enough. They couldn't, wrap the belt around the arm. It just constant pressure. They weren't able to get a foothold in this game, and from that's why you see such big time banks left here for Gigantti.
Overwatch can be that snowbally game too when a team starts getting ults and then using them correctly, and I think there's no better example of the Earthshatter early on, rode the D.Va through the wall, then had Shatter up for the next fight.
Right.
And when you start getting that snowball mechanic, you really need to find something big play out of your team to be able to get that back. Zupe is going to be running the Sombra here.
Linkster gets in, and he gets out. And they're going for a very aggressive defense. So they don't need to win this fight, but they're just stalling for so much time left.
Yeah, I mean, already first point is being contested right here, where all of this was absolutely free push for the side of Gigantti. It's going to be very difficult for them now. I mean, already the time has been tough for them. They got to find an answer to this. Zupe has EMP already, Jason.
And he's probably going with this when they're all grouped up around the payload, too, unless you're looking to see him on the screen. And RCK dies yet again, this time to Davin. And the EMP is going to come down. Let's see the follow-up coming in for this one. Davin can afford to get close, but Zupit gets the kill onto Reaper, which you should 100% expect Sombra vs Zenyatta, especially with the EMP being used. Actually getting relatively low on HP. The thing is, they're not fighting near a lot of health packs. They have the mini one behind them, but they also have the Mega to the right that they could use, but you see them constantly backing into that cave.
Yeah, not a bunch of cleanup there. A little bit underwhelming as far as post-EMP fights go. Davin finds himself a little bit out, and he gets pooped off there after the Doomfist came in and did the initial damage. Now the push will commence around the corner here. They're still going to be running the Sombra, and it's always a question of when do they switch off of the Sombra. There's a Mega here. Sombra you can run all through first point no matter what. Second point, it becomes a little bit trickier. Your team's not necessarily playing around packs as much. Zupe at 77% on that EMP. A D-Mech onto Zappis, but this is where he's most dangerous as the Muddy Blaster comes out. Meteor Strike looking for a little bit. Just uses it to reposition. Misses the punch as well. But that's one way to take down a Sombra, although he says, see you later. Gone.
He's not dead.
Not dead at all. No, just back to a pack, and now they've gotten a couple of kills by themselves.
and I have 5 ultimates to use here on the defense too. Fraggy's not too far off from his Primal Rage, and ENCE, like RCK, he's trying to put his team on his back, I feel like. He's trying to go for these big plays. He tries to kill Zupe, misses. Zupe's able to escape, then Davin comes in, he misses, and Davin's able to help like finish off this kill. They need to solidify these kills somehow, and they're just not seeming to make them land, whether that's Gigantti playing well, or it's just ENCE not coordinating at the right time. There's a lot of pressure on them. They have a minute 44 just to get this first point, and then they still have to finish this map.
It's got to be some more focused fire on him, and I don't care which target they choose. You can't choose the Tracer, can't choose the Sombra, choose anyone else and just all go all in on that. Davin takes down Reaper, though. That is a lot of healing, a lot of damage down. EMP does come out. See if the cleanup's a little better this time than it was prior. His Sound Barrier comes out post-EMP, which is always a beautiful play for Lucio. Going to keep his team alive, and RCK capitalizes on it.
Oh,
he's taking out Zappis. He takes down Zupe. Doomfist in full effect here, looking to get a little bit more. He is very low. Linkser cleans him up. Linkser got the blade out, able to get a couple. He and his DPS counterpart have done so much work late in fights. They both die there, though. But already, you have to say, in the grand scheme of things, a very successful first defense.
I mean, obviously they want to win the fight, right? They want to be able to hold this payload, but as long as they're stalling for time at the same time is like their big worry. It's like their big care. Like, if we hold them, all right, that's, extra. It's like cherry on top. But if we just stall for as long as possible, we know we're putting pressure on them, and they're going to start making mistakes, and they have nothing to respond with this one. That's going to be Cyber used at Gigantti just to get aggressive. Transcendence going to be used in response. And Cloudy has a Primal Rage. RCK is again down. He's getting focused so well. Whether that was Linkster picking up the 1v1 kill or not, but he's just not had the freedom he's had against other teams.
Doomfist is not real great against flanking DPS either, and especially if both of you are after him, he doesn't have the most enormous health pool, and if he's not hitting anything, that health pool is even smaller. However, post that kill, it has been all ENCE eSports as they finally get it to the second point. This is how long the map is. When you get to the second point, you get a couple more minutes onto the clock. 2:40 on the clock now to get to second point. Zupe, I think he's going to stay for Sombra for at least one more life as he's got his EMP ready to go.
You might as well go for it here. Right. You might as well make this one work and then maybe get Linkster up to his ultimate. And also you have the defense mage just to eat any of those left-click damage. I mean, Doomfist just does nothing when he's pretty much locked down by an EMP. But he somehow kills Zupe. He gets the rocket punch onto him, so maybe caught him out. And now with that, you have to wonder, Gigantti, can you even afford to fight anymore? Can you afford to contest this payload? Maybe Davin is the one that can do it since he can escape. But you have to be very careful. You don't want to lose too many people. It looks like the entire team's going to commit just to buy extra time.
I suppose, but at least they end up actually burning out a tactical visor there as well. So it was that fight for me was over as soon as Zupe died, because that was your initiator. You wanted Zupe in first to get the EMP, and when that fails, then everyone else just has to decide. If we retreat, we're going to die anyway, so probably that would be the case. So they go in. Now they're going to try to reset up. Good positioning here from ENCE eSports. They've got everyone on all sorts of angles. Entry door is covered, so you can see the silhouettes in the distance. They will rotate around to lower entry, and they will gain their free entry there. Going to be another fight before second point, and you have to imagine EMP into Blade can be absolutely brutal. They have nothing to stop this. Trickwide still 8% away from his Sound Barrier, and wow, a clip into the back of Davin and the cleanup there.
RCK is also trying to force out Zappis, trying to get him around the corner. The EMP has come in towards the backside. I believe it hit only Reaper, and you need to hit more targets than that. Zappis is 1 HP. The Mirror Strike's going to come down, gets the kill on the Linkster, so the Blade is not going to be effective here. And RCK is on the cleanup duty here, able to look for the kill onto, I believe that was Zupe, as Vada finishes him off. Payload should cross the line ideally here, as Fraggy's pretty much the only one with Davin to contest it. They're still buying a lot of time.
A little bit of dance, so that's a nice pulse bomb. Takes on RCK. Now Cloudy also down. All the big bodies out of this. They're going to Sound Barrier to keep this one going. Big Goose gets himself his own kill. Lynx are now joining the fray, and the reinforcements are going to come in much faster
they're
here
do
for
it.
Gigantti. They do get in here. They clean up that entire fight. And that is some nice stall out there. Linkser with the dash throughs towards the end. They had to use most of everything to do it, but I completely agree with that's the place to fight. It's before second point, Jason, which means that's a long walk for the offense. Last push incoming for ENCE eSports if they do not grab this checkpoint.
30 seconds left. They do have a chance coming up momentarily. Kali as well has that pulse bomb. I think someone is trying to look for an early kill on the side of Gigantti. But they're going to come on the side. Kali's going to be on the payload. Is able to force out Zupe. Zupe's actually going to come with the pulse bomb. He's going to fall off this one. Kali's going huge. Big Goose is trying to stay alive as well. Now he's the solo healer for the team. Reaper still has a trance. And look at that. ENCE kill feed is all blue, catching Gigantti off guard with that flank alone out of the Tracer player of Kali for ENCE eSports. So they're going to finally cross the line. But now they have a minute 30 remaining. This is getting very dangerous.
90 seconds to just finish the map and give themselves at least a little bit of a chance.
If they finish, it's going to be under a minute, right? And Gigantti's going to have 4.5 minutes.
I'm aware.
I'm saying for the people out there who don't know. I know you know everything, Hex.
It did seem like you were telling me. All right, so we're under a minute. We're getting near a minute now. It's a good point to mention, Jason.
Don't change your view on that now. Don't make fun of me and be like, oh, that was actually
I'm a huge fan of revisionist history. Gigantti does have 3.5 in the bank, so they're playing with house money, essentially. They would love to close out this map right now. Davin looking for the bomb, does drop it down, does not find the pay dirt he's looking for. Meteor Strike looking to come in. It does end up taking on Big Goose. That is a couple of kills quickly from RCK. That is 3. That is a Doomfist sighting as RCK. I mean, he's been the best Doomfist we've seen in this tournament. He's been the most consistent on it.
Yeah, definitely. And you have to kind of give credit to the team to play around that aspect, especially really hard to play around a new hero that's only been out for, what, a week? Yeah, you could have played him on PTR, but it was changed, during the duration of that. But here we go into the final stretch here. 30 seconds left to go. ENCE, so trying to cross this finish line to have a second chance at this map. That's going to be a Blade coming through at a Linkster who's just not able to catch up to anyone. But that Transcendence is going to keep him alive, and Cali is going to eventually fall here. There's 15 seconds left, Hex. This is going to be such a scrappy fight.
Well, 2 already down. That is 3 down as Linkster dashes through. He is chasing him out, looking for more. He's got his Winston with him, and that is just spells death. Only 2 alive to even touch the point. They're trying to find the stragglers here as Cloudy's the straggler. Cloudy just got to wait and get there, but he's so low already. Doesn't even touch the cart with his living body. His corpse will raid over the cart on Route 66. And Team Gigantti will move to the finals of the ASUS Republic of Gamers Overwatch tournament.
Let's be honest, though. At least give credit to ENCE. That was a lot closer than Gigantti wanted, and that was a rematch from earlier on for the Finnish Championships, where ENCE did win 3-2. So honestly, a big win for Gigantti, just for pride's sake.
They had to have it.
Yeah, exactly. You're under a new sponsor. You're getting paid for this again. You have these new roster changes. You want to prove to people out there that you're still a team to be reckoned with.
Right.
And this was a good first step for them to get back to that point. So now they're going to be up against Gamers Origin in the Grand Finals. But ENCE, you have to give them a lot of credit. A lot of great individual play. Kali showing he can flex quite a bit. From Diva to Tracer, Baido as well, from Soldier to Tracer or to Pharah. And RCK really showing, probably the best Doomfist we've seen so far in competitive play.
Right. To me, it was the guy who just got play of the game there. I think his play today was much different than yesterday. Davin.
Yeah, I knew that.
Yeah, it was Davin. But yesterday I thought he struggled a little bit. I thought he was a little caught out, and he was trying to play a little too much alone. Today, he hit those combos with the pulse bombs. And Tracer gameplay is so variable anyway, because a lot of it is, are you sticking a pulse bomb? I mean, it's as simple as that. Are you hitting those 2Ks? And
I hate that, though.
But it's a huge influence of the game.
No. I hate that if we ever judge a Tracer by a pulse bomb landing, because it shouldn't be about that. It should be about, obviously that's the easiest way to see it, right? But it's the stuff you don't see, like the flanking stuff, that's really important. But I believe we're going to the stage with the interview, I'm guessing with Fraggy, about their victory against ENCE.
Congratulations, Fraggy and Gigantti.
Feeling pretty good after the loss before today.
You played quite the same maps what you played earlier today. Was that something you wanted to do, or it just happened?
Yeah, we were pretty confident on Lee Chang. We beat them earlier today as well. Numpani is a good map for us as well. We didn't play Root against them, but it's a good map for us as well.
All right, you're heading against Gamers Origins in the final. Do you know anything about them?
Yeah, we actually streamed them quite a bit earlier this year, and we faced them in the Contenders Season 0. I think we are pretty confident against them.
Anything you want to tell your Finnish fans in Finnish?
Thanks for cheering for us, and make sure to watch the finals. Torille. Torille.
There you go. In that note, it is time to head on our last commercial break. But when we get back, it is the ASUS Summer Championship Overwatch final between Team Gigantti and Gamers Origins.